Okay, thanks for waiting, you guys. I guess guess we're gonna go again. Yeah, it kind of sucks as I like that. The reason we lost the run wasn't anything other than just like the new strat, and I didn't know that I could get stuck like that. That's all good. We are looking to do this run every time, not just once. But yeah, once I get this run once, then we're going to move on to probably DS1 or 2. Start de-rusting on that as well. And finish up the no runes spent Elden Ring run. Maybe do some run requests. I don't know. Yeah, learn something. That's true. Not in the way you want to learn it, though. Ideally, I learn that in practice, or I learn that and don't get hit. How's it going, Charlie? Divinity run practice? Yeah, I do need a name for it. You're right. We do need some sort of name. But what's a good one, though? The Tetra's 4, right? The Tetra God run, dude. I don't know. That doesn't sound very good, though. Yeah, the quad something. I don't know. And I guess does adding, like, if I added Demon Souls onto this, I mean, realistically, if I decide to add Demon Souls, I'd probably add Bloodborne as well. And then how many games is that? That's 6 games. So that's all I would do. And then that would be the Quad Run 3. I don't know. Not God Run, the Quad Run, surely. Huge name, dude. Oh, wow. I didn't mean to buy that, but this is fine. The Elder Quartet. Like, I don't know, dude. Epic quad run. Epic quad run, dude. It's funny. Yeah, Elden Trilogy, yeah. Elden Trilogy is pretty good. But then there's nothing that indicates that it's all bosses, but oh yeah, no, I guess I did like that one. Elden Trilogy, but I don't know. What I liked about Elden Trilogy was that it it's like it's the trilogy plus Elden Ring, right? So Elden Trilogy, but then Elden is also like, I mean, I guess I'd have to look up the definition, but it's sort of like a bigger version, I guess, right? I don't know. I don't know what Elden exactly means. But it makes it sound like a grander version, which is the all bosses part, you know? Yeah, like old. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's also, I feel like it makes it sound more bigger. It's like in any game when you're fighting an enemy that's elder, an elder version of some enemy, they're going to be a stronger version, you know? Or like, I don't know. Something like that. You guys see what I'm saying? So I do like Elden Trilogy, I guess. I think no matter what I call it, it's gonna make me cringe a little bit, but that's okay. I don't cringe when saying the God Run because it wasn't me who made that up. Oh no! Oh no. 300 run would be cool if it wasn't 299 bosses. Yeah. I got 299 problems and Letta isn't one. Yeah, that's an elite name, dude. It's an unreal name. It'd be so good if it wasn't longer than the actual run restriction itself.
Hello, dancer of the Boreal Valley.
Elite name. It's actually so good, dude. Yeah, the Twitch and YouTube chats are combined for me. Yeah, so when people think that I read YouTube chat less, it's literally just RNG, I guess, right? But no, it's I think mostly why people think that's a thing is because, first of all, a lot of other streamers, they'll stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but won't read YouTube chat, so they kind of just assume that other people also don't. And then there's also that there are less chatters on YouTube overall, and so since there are less messages, I'm less likely to read them, right? Yeah, Elden has prestige. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, 100%. It's higher prestige. In my mind, at least. So that's why I do really like Elden Trilogy. Like, maybe that's the one, dude. It's a clever name. Elias, thanks so much for the 9-month resub, dude. Thanks, man. All right, well, is that what we're going with then? Elden Trilogy run. But then what do you call, like, let's say I do Demon Souls plus Bloodborne after. What is that called then? Because it's not... Elden Trilogy 2 doesn't sound as good anymore. Yeah, that can have its own name, I guess. Doesn't need to have a 2 at the end of it. Yeah, I don't know. Nah, Sekiro, dude, I wouldn't I'm not going to include Sekiro in it. But yeah, I guess God Run 3 all bosses. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, no, I know it's not trilogy, but it's Elden Ring plus the trilogy of Dark Souls, right? So that's why it's Elden plus trilogy, but then it's also... I don't know, maybe it's... maybe I'm overthinking it, dude. No, Sekiro, like, for people who don't know my opinion on it, I really like Sekiro. Fun to do runs on, all that stuff, but in a Souls marathon run, I just don't think it's the odd one out to me. you know? Like, it's not... I wouldn't consider it to be a Souls-like game, necessarily. So that's why I wouldn't do it on this run as well if I start adding other games. Trilogy of the Eldens. That is quite a name. Trilogy of the Eldens, dude. Massive name. But yeah, honestly, though, I'm also not as interested in running Sekiro as the Souls games. Partially because what I like about running the Souls games so much is exactly what we're doing with this run, right? We're going with a completely different build than I would normally go. Like, we're going Faith, plus a different weapon, plus 2 buffs that I wouldn't normally use, and all that stuff, and the route works out really nicely. Sekiro doesn't really have that. I feel like Elden Trilogy on its own just sounds like any run with Elden Ring plus Trilogy in it. Yeah, maybe, I guess. Yeah, this run probably will be YouTube video, just like all the other run requests, I guess. Yeah, if you're talking about the Elden Trilogy, or the name not determined yet, but that one, of course, will also be, so yes. I guess I'm getting an Estus refill somewhere. Did Hodrick die? I don't think so. He didn't die. I think poise breaking has made combat better than in Elden Ring. Wait, better in Elden Ring than Dark Souls?
Maybe best not ever.
What I really like about Elden Ring is the fact that it's not R1 simulator. This game can be a little bit too much R1 spam. And there isn't a huge incentive to use R2s. But Elden Ring with the poise breaks and getting a lot of poise damage on your charged R2s, plus having... I mean, that alone would have been enough. But then you also have Axe Talisman and the charge attack. What? Oh, that was the dog that fell, I guess. I don't know why that sounded so loud to me. Yeah, so having all that stuff makes a charge attack build good. So I like the poise in Elden Ring because it enables a different style of play, sort of, right? Just focusing on charged R2s, where if you do that in this game, it's just not going to be very good. Not going to be that effective for most weapons. Yeah, jump attack as well, for sure. So yeah, I do really like the poise in Elden Ring. I think certain bosses have way too little poise, though, relative to how much poise damage you can deal. Obvious one for that being Malekith and Morgott. Like, no main boss should have had 80 poise. In fact, like, probably there shouldn't have been any bosses in the game that have 80 poise. 120 probably should have been the minimum, so that, you know, like, big weapon charge attacks take 3 hits to poise break instead of 2. But, I mean, mostly for the main bosses. Like, Malekith and Morgott should not have had 80 poise, dude. They should have had at least 120. I like Elder Scrolls games. If that's what you're asking. Yes. I think Malkav should have been 2 full health bars. Only if they decrease his damage. Because he deals a shit ton of damage, dude. He was the only boss in the game when I did the tank run that I couldn't just do that like insane endure strategy on. Only boss in the game. And like inherently that's not a bad thing, but overall he just does so much damage, and I think it gets offset by the fact that he has such a little health, but I would prefer more health, less damage from him. Like that's what I would do to him, and I would do the same to Morgott probably. Although Morgott's, I don't know if his damage is too high. I feel like it's fine. Just Morgott doesn't have enough health either. For the name, you'd replace the God part of the God run with all bosses. For example, like Titan run. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Oh. He's sprinting at me, but then he bugged out. The Titan Elden trilogy, dude. Yeah. Like I said, maybe we're overthinking it a little bit. And that's a pretty strong barrel. Premium God Run. Premium. Dude, what about like the not the goddess run, what about the goddess run? What about that? Surely that's the name. It is too bad it's not 300 bosses though. Because yeah, the like 300 would have been good. All bosses God run. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Or maybe I should just simply not be a coward and just immediately throw in Bloodborne and Demon Souls into this. Like I could, but the run's getting insanely long at that point. Yeah, I would definitely do it with the emulated Bloodborne, I think. I don't know. Not sure yet. I'm not sure if it's fully finished yet, but apparently it's running pretty well, I think. No, Bloodborne, normal Bloodborne all boss, it doesn't include chalices for whatever reason. Honestly, could not tell you why. But
Farewell, Ashen One.
eventually we'll get storytellers. One day. Reached Orphan and it started lagging on PC. Yeah, well, I've heard that you also need a really good setup for it to run well. So I don't know. I'll test it eventually. I said I was gonna. I actually was talking about setting it up this weekend, but I didn't. So. Anyone know how many how many bosses the normal God Run 3 has on it? I think when I was attempting God Run 3, I knew, but yeah, 4 Rottens would count as one for sure. Yeah, I like the name the Pantheon run. That's pretty good too. Johnny, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. Also, Ryan, thanks for the 10-month Prime sub as well. Well, I'm feeling like this route's going to be very consistent, dude. As, you know, once we get all the strats perfectly dialed in. I don't really see what could be bad about this route so far. Mainly because of that Grave Tender. I was really concerned initially with this because Grave Tender was not looking very good. But with that Grave Tender strat, then... like, assuming I can figure that out and it's 100%, then... we should be good, as long as I don't mess up. Definitely still a little bit rusty, though. Need a fresh poll in the community tab. Yeah. I don't know. I like Pantheon Run a lot. But if I'm just going to add Bloodborne and Demon Souls on top, then like God Run all bosses makes a lot of sense, right? Because people already know what the God Run is at this point. Oilers or Kings? I'm hoping Oilers, but my brain is telling me Kings this year, dude. But I don't know. I'm hoping Oilers. I'm thinking Kings. Look at the Sun series, dude. I think Toronto will win, but I really hope they won't. No, I know of the Hollow Knight Pantheon run, yeah. I am aware of that one. But that, I mean, it's not like that's only a Hollow Knight thing necessarily. I'd do vacation in the Souls game. What poison swamp would I want to swim in? Probably the... I don't know. They're all bad, dude. Ran over my cable. Whoops.
Ashen? Oh,
Too bad oral decoy sucks in this game, man. You go from urine in DS2? Urine in DS2 to oral decoy in this game. Giga Chad Flynn's in DS2 to mid. I don't think... No, Flynn's is underrated in this game, man. It's not that bad. But yeah, there's no doubt it's much worse, though, obviously. I don't think it's mid. I think it's still pretty good. Like, for a no-hit run, that is. But yeah, maybe you're right, though. I guess I just... My no-hit brain thinks it's pretty good, but... Overall, it is pretty bad in this game. That's true. It's kind of like, I mean, it's basically the same as Blue Dancer and Elden Ring, right? Which is a good no-hit talisman, but I guess for any other playthrough, it's, I guess, and it's not, it is good, but for no-hit, but that's about it, I guess. Yeah, you're right. It is pretty mid. Whereas DS2 Flynn's Ring was good on, like, as long as you were thinking that you were going to go with DS2 Flynn's Ring and you didn't level up Vitality, then it is very good on any build. Unless you're not doing physical, I guess. Why do I do this? Almost all damage rings in DS3 are doo-doo water. Nah, that's no. Ritual... Lloyd's Sword Ring is very good. Well... It depends who's playing, I guess, right? Because I always like to think that those max health rings are really good because they're so convenient and you just get 10% more damage, but... If you're a normal player and you're getting hit all the time, then I guess it's really not that good, huh? No, I think Lloyd's Sword Ring's pretty good. Red Tearstone could have been much better. Like, only 20% for being at low health is not great. Yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right. I mean, the clutch rings are good. Sorta. But I guess they make you take more damage. Yeah, maybe you're right, dude. I think you're right. Yeah, because you go from, like, Flynn's Ring, Ring of Blades, and you can get the +2 version, or the +1 version's easier, but you get the higher upgraded version, like, pretty early, relatively early. In DS2. Like, Leo Ring in the older Souls games is also much better than in this game. Leo Ring in this game is terrible. It could be okay in PvP. But yeah, the Witch Ring, all of those rings for for magic are good, I would say. But yeah, you're right. Like the damage rings in this game aren't very good for the most part. Yeah, the clutch rings are 15%, but like so good for no hit if you're doing a elemental build, but you're doing not no hit, then they're not very good. RTSR, Morion Blade's 20%, RTSR is also 20%. So yeah, if you can stack them, then they become pretty good.
What?
And maybe that's what they were thinking with RTSR only being 20%, but who knows? Why did I go the wrong one? All rings are mid. The devs balance things pretty well. Yeah, that's a fair point. But it's actually not so much that, and it's actually just more so that a lot of the rings just aren't very good, actually. Now that I think about it. Zoof, thanks for the brand new Prem sub, dude. And Mavori, thanks for the 1 bit as well. Massive bit.
Hey, Gino, you should go max volume. In
Rad,
Ariandel.
thanks for the donation, dude. You mean Ariandel when I'm going past the Scream guys, right? Of course. Pantheon the Run is your favorite name. Yeah, I do like that name quite a bit. That name is pretty good. What percent equip load does Flynn's ring take effect? I don't actually know. It's not percentage equip load in this game. It's just like Elden Ring where it's the actual value. Right, so I'm at 12.1. I can't really remember. Oh. Oh my god, really? You really just happened to be facing me there? Yeah, I don't know what the maximum weight you can be to still get a slight benefit from Flynn's ring, but it basically, the more weight you're carrying, the less damage you get from it. I'm sure you can find a chart of that somewhere. Maybe they made rings work because of 4 slots. No, but like if you just compare with Dark Souls 2, though, like you just have better rings in Dark Souls 2, right? Yeah, you have Flynn's ring, you've got a good Leo ring in Dark Souls 2, but then you also have, yeah, and Ring of Blades. But then you also have Stone Ring in Dark Souls 2. You just had some insane rings in that game. I've never really thought about it. And then in this game, they're much worse overall. Another classic Dark Souls 2 W, dude. As usual. Don't like having to go to NG Plus to get higher version. Well, that's what the DLC is for, right? I mean, I guess the only ring that... I could be mistaken on this, but I'm pretty sure the only ring that you don't get the best +3 version of from the DLC is the Life Ring +3, which is kind of a bad ring anyways, right? So, it's got to go to the DLC. Unless I'm mistaken. But all the other +3s are in the DLC, though. Nice one. But I do really like how Dark Souls 2 does it. Or, like, unless you were talking about Dark Souls 2, actually, but I like how it does it with NG Plus and the bonfire settings. I really like how that works, actually. Like, oh, I want to get, you know, maybe not even just for rings, but... Well, it is for rings, but also for, like, spells and weapons and stuff. It's like, oh, I want to use Crystal Soul Spear. I'm going to go kill NG Plus Freya or whatever, right? Or I want to pick up this upgraded version of this ring that's normally an NG Plus in this area, so I'm just going to bonfire set it and then go get it. I really like that a lot. Yeah, getting the all achievements, you're 100% right, Kiwi. Yeah, it is annoying. Having to go to NG +2 for it. I agree with that. Yeah, second copy of the same weapon. Yep, you're right, dude. It's also just the more fun way. If you're going to farm in a Souls game, it's much more fun to farm bosses rather than like trash mobs in some area. And so I like that bonfire sedex is the way to farm souls in that game if you're going to do it. It's much more enjoyable, I think. I wonder if they'll make us upgrade talismans rings in the future, similar to weapons. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like, I think that could work. Yeah, I think that could work. I do think there's a concern at some point where you have just way too many things to upgrade. But I don't think only... Yeah, if there were, like, ring upgrades, I don't think that'd be too bad. It's like the armor upgrades in Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2. I don't mind that. I kind of like that. I know a lot of people don't. But I like the idea of it with having... like, even just more specialization into the build you're picking, basically. What I don't like is what they did in Shadow of the Erdtree, which is have an overall character upgrade. That's what I don't like. I like the opposite of that in an RPG. I want to make more choices and have more ways to build out my character, basically. And the more variation between the different builds, the better, in my opinion. And so when you have... Like, I was actually getting flamed on Twitter because I said that I don't like the blessing system at all. But, man, like, I really don't like that. Just overall upgrade. So yeah, upgrading armor, upgrading talismans and rings and stuff. I do think, like I said, I think there's a concern of going with way too many upgrades to a point where you're just, you know, there's 100 stones that you're picking up of different types and like oh, this one upgrades a ring and this one, like, it could get too much, but I don't think armor's too much. And yeah, if you throw in rings in there too, then I still think that's probably fine. No, I really don't like the Shadow Tree blessing at all. And yeah, I was honestly shocked when, because some random account tweeted out that like they should never do fragment thing again. And I was honestly shocked at how many people really liked it. And not only because, like, here's the thing, I don't think it... It's like I said on my first playthrough. My first playthrough, I thought the fragments were... In terms of the... I don't know, the tediousness of getting them and the exploration part, what they were aiming for, which I think was making it so that... Ooh, that was not great. Making it so that you could get stuck on a boss and then go explore, find more fragments, and then come back to the boss later. Like, I think that all worked well. The problem I had ultimately was the idea behind it. In an RPG, having, like, an overall character upgrade, I think is very bad. That's the main problem I have with it. It adds nothing to build variety. It adds nothing to... Like, it makes things more tedious for sure. Oh. This guy. It does make things more tedious on replays, but even if you don't even consider that, it's just not a creative way to to do it, you know? I've killed 4, right? Like, so yeah, I really hate the fragments, man. Really don't like them. It worked fine in Sekiro because Sekiro's not a like, it doesn't really have the RPG elements in it, right? So it's not an RPG in my mind. Basically just a straight action game. And in a game like that, you don't, like, it's all about the bosses and fighting stuff, so if the game's not going to be about that in the first place, then I don't really care about the picking and choosing of things in my build, right? I don't even know what I just said because I was trying to focus on the boss, but yeah, basically I just don't like the fragments because it removes any any choice the player has to make, which I think RPGs is kind of like all about choosing, right? And then the thing that also makes it even worse is that it is tedious when you have to play the game, or not when you have to play the game, but when you play the game numerous times in a system like that is so imperative to your playthrough of the DLC because it's so powerful. Oh. So basically what I'm saying is you're almost forced to interact with it, and it's also tedious, which is another downside, but the main thing is the overall character upgrade is no good. So yeah, as I was saying though, I wasn't surprised that people didn't mind the system because it wasn't really annoying to interact with on a normal playthrough, but like realistically, the only people that thought it would be annoying are people who were just trying to rush through the DLC or something, which I wasn't trying to do at all. And like I said, fragments were fine. I didn't find them too annoying, but yeah, it's that the idea of that in an RPG game, and that's why I'm surprised so many people were fine with it. Because it just seems to go against a lot of things, especially in Elden Ring, where there's so many build options in the game. Like, it just totally goes against that, I think. So. How's it going, Carlos? What would I replace it with then? I don't really know. I think what Convergence has is better than what the base game has, which is over-upgrading your weapons to plus 15 versus, like, which in the base game would normally be plus 10. So I think that's good. I also don't... I don't know. I don't think they necessarily needed to have something, I guess. But the problem that arises at that point is, first of all, if they were aiming to try to make the DLC experience similar to the base game and that you can get stuck on a boss, go explore, get stronger, come back and win, then that would be missing, partially. But I think if the rewards in the DLC were better, and there were more of them, then that could have been enough, I guess. And there were some really good items in the DLC, to be fair, right? Like the two-handed talisman and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think I like the direction that Convergence went more with the Shadow, Somber, and Smithing Stones. No input read for some reason. Yeah, I haven't. To be fair, I haven't thought that much about what I would have done instead of that, instead of the fragments, but. Yeah, I think at the very least, the convergence one is better. And yeah, I guess you could argue that it's like, oh, weapon upgrades are kind of similar, right? You got to get the weapon upgrades on every character regardless if you're going to, go through the DLC. But there are two main things, two main points about that. Weapon upgrades are a lot less strong than fragments are, right? That's the first thing. So fragments are just insanely strong. But then I think I'm fine to go get this here. And then I guess I'm just going to run here. Yeah, so the Shadow Tree fragments are insanely powerful. Weapon upgrades feel like they're less necessary because it's not as big of a jump. So that'd be one thing I would definitely change, is make the scaling of the DLC not as drastic as it is. But then what the additional upgrades do is they're still forcing you to pick something, right? So if I get, a bunch of Shadow Somber Stones, like in Convergence mod, I have to pick which weapon I'm going to use them on, at least, right? Or if I'm going to, if I'm going to buy them from the Bell Bearing, I have to spend currency on it and pick the weapon, whatever. That feels much better than... And yeah, just having something that overall built, like, that just increases your character's power overall. Hey, for some reason it was 4 this time. Weird. And yeah, there are also people saying that part of the reason the fragments exist is so that people don't come into the DLC with their level, 7 whatever build, level 700 build, and just blast through everything. But I don't know. I would have to test if that's actually a legitimate thing, because there's a certain point in Souls games where getting higher level basically does nothing. Your character's not actually getting that much stronger. The levels are way more valuable when you're a level 1 character versus when you're level 600. And so I would think that in Elden Ring, once you're, the difference between a level 300 character and a level 700 character is really not that big. So I don't know if that's really a big concern, actually. I think weapon upgrades are as shit as Shadow Fragments. No, I completely disagree, but should have done a system where you get stronger after each Remembrance boss. No, but the problem with that is... like that, sure, that could make sense, I guess. I don't even see what the point of that would be in that case, but if their original reason to have fragments in the DLC was to incentivize exploration and have people get stronger for bosses that they're stuck on if they explore more, then that doesn't do it, right? It doesn't incentivize the exploration part, which I think they were going for. But yeah, what I would have been perfectly fine with, and I think what would have been better, is to have a more linear DLC, though. I guess. Like they could have done it where the DLC was more of just Dark Souls levels instead. And I think that would have worked perfectly fine. And then you wouldn't even have to think about this stuff at all. But do I like DS1 upgrades? Well, I'm not... I don't think it's very well balanced. But I don't know. I like that there are there's a big variety of stones in the game, I guess. But yeah, it's not really well balanced at all. You get a twinkling weapon or something, a Black Knight weapon, and it comes already. Like when you pick up a Black Knight weapon, your weapon upgrade immediately goes to +5, even if it's actually +0. So there's some balancing issues, but I don't mind the variety of stones you need. All bosses should have fragments. Easier side bosses when you encounter while exploration will make you stronger. Yeah, maybe, I guess. But I think a big consideration, like that does make sense a lot. It makes a lot of sense, but it would have to be balanced in such a way that you're not taking a huge penalty by not exploring. But yeah, I would agree with that. I think that would make sense. I think that makes sense. But again, it should be done in a way that's not an overall character power upgrade as well. So yeah, if every boss in the DLC dropped something, like I'm still not a huge fan of that, but I think it would have been better. Yeah, so let's just say they still had the Shadow Tree fragments. And yeah, if you went and killed some side boss and you get one, but it's just not as drastic as of a power boost, that would have worked well, I think. Worked better, at least. I still want to. I would rather something more specific to a build than that, but that would have been better for sure. Yeah, more fragments. How's it going, Recycle? More fragments, less effectiveness of blessing levels. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and having them be at important locations would also be a lot better than what it is in the base game, which is... I mean, some of them are at important locations, but... like, very distinct landmarks, but then some of them are also dropped by some random hollow, right? Which is so weird, I think. Oh, here's this critical upgrade material in the DLC that's dropped by some random trash mob. So, yeah. That was another problem. And I'm pretty sure in my first playthrough, I missed 2 fragments, and they would have been 2 random pot guys that I missed, I'm sure. Or did I miss one? It was 1 or 2. I can't remember. Yeah, massive skill issue, dude. I should have known. Should have known that random pot guy had it. It's funny, because I probably did kill them, but maybe I just missed the drop or something. Yeah, so I guess maybe my ideal system, if they wanted to keep putting upgrades in the DLC or whatever and make your character get stronger, would be... I would have to think about this more, but I really like, for replayability, having different routes. Through the content. Going to different areas, basically. So what I like about in the base game is if you're going with, I'm not saying it's ideal, obviously, but in the base game, if you're going to go with an incantation build, you're going to go to different parts of the game compared to if you're going for a sorcery build, right? So it would be nice to have something that differentiates the builds in the DLC. I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if you're a sorcerer, there's a different upgrade, like a different damage type. I would have to think about it more, but... I think you guys see my point. Ah, no headshot. Didn't get to do my Sunlight Straight Sword finisher. Least favorite DS3 weapon? I have I have no idea, dude. I mean, no clue. Bonk, how's it going, dude? Heard people are kind of disappointed lore-wise with the DLC. Yeah, I've heard that a lot as well. I'm not big on the lore, but definitely people were hoping to get more on Godwin and stuff, I think. No, Onyx Blade's really good, actually. But it's kind of more of a PvP weapon, because it has insane range, plus the self-buff is good. Mostly about having the really good range on the R2. In PvE, it's okay. Just okay. Oh yeah, well, compared to Steeple, it's, I mean... yeah, it's bad. Most weapons are bad compared to the Steeple, though. Okay, get 4 of these.
Well, that farewell, Ashen One.
Reality Hurts, thanks for the 3-month Prime sub, by the way, dude. It's just quite a while to get to this point in the run. On a normal Twin Blade route, you'd probably get here past past Yorm at about 40-something minutes. But obviously the difference is that we've killed Dancer already, so we're already +4. Maybe do a window in Sight of Grace with the 4 physical elemental damage types. Yeah, I didn't see the message you're responding to, but... yeah, something like that. That somehow separated the builds a bit. Made you pick. Again, I should be doing Lightning Blade first. I don't know why I keep doing that. Jesus, dude. My parries are not so great, dude. Oh my god. Was maybe slightly early. Shadow of the Roguelike, every fragment gives you 3 random options to pick from. That would be that'd be very interesting. I think that'd be fun, but maybe not so well liked. I do think that'd be pretty fun though. My opinion on the bow glitch in DS3, like, I don't know what opinion I could have about it. I think it's hilarious, but I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, I guess. Can't say I really have an opinion on it. Make fragments a refundable resource that you can spend a bit more to get more FP, HP, or whatever. Yeah, but then it would feel like it's too weak, probably. The balance of it is very important. Because as I was saying earlier, I think you shouldn't make it so good that it's a requirement, basically through the DLC, which it kind of is at this point. I mean, obviously, you don't need the fragments if you know what you're doing, but they're basically not optional, I will say. Basically. So I think they're balanced to be... they're too strong. So I think there's the right balance to be found there, where it's not so strong that you have to get it, and it's going to drastically change your DLC playthrough. But they need to be strong enough that they're actually worth getting. Yeah, Golden Seeds is kind of like that, yes. And same with the Sacred Tears. That's a very good example, because the Sacred Tears, you definitely don't need them. And your playthrough of the game won't necessarily change that much if you get them or if you don't. But wait, am I missing money here? Oh. Whoops. Kind of messed up there, but it should be fine. For some reason, I was going to go upgrade the shield right now, but... Okay, we're setting up Red Tearstone here. Well, the next game after this, we are not attempting the run yet, like the 4-game run, whatever we're calling it. I'm just de-rusting on DS3 at this point, and then next I'll de-rust on probably DS2 or 1. Okay, I don't know how... I feel like this drop should be good. Oh. Okay, maybe 2 of those, I guess. I feel like we can do this in a single drop, actually. I mean, surely I don't die from this, right? Famous last words, maybe? Okay, I see. I don't remember what the setup is for this. We're essentially getting level 1 fall damage here. So... well, the DS2 route, I mean, if I'm going with Rapier, I've done that route a couple times. And I have footage of it, so it's not me guessing what it is. And I've got notes on it as well. So it should be pretty set for DS2 if I'm doing the Rapier route. But I'm probably going to do the Rapier route, realistically. So yeah, the route's figured out. I'm just going to have to de-rust on it, obviously. No, I don't have paddles on my controller, but if you have a controller with them and you're playing Souls games, it's pretty common to just put roll on one of those back buttons. I think that's probably what most people do. Won't reroute Elden Ring with sorcery. I do think that'd be fun, man. I do kind of want to do that. Obviously, it'll make this run take longer to get, but I think it'd be fun to do sorcery. Not sure how that guy saw me, but oh my god, dude, I really messed up there. Pretty comfortable one cycle with Red Tear Stone. Saves us a hit at the end. I don't think I should need to rest for any reason. I haven't done Colossal Swords on Elden Ring yet, no. So I wonder if I was taking off slumbering for this part, dude. Because it does seem like a good idea. I'm going to have to test that. Because what you don't want to have happen is you run past the enemy and then it starts firing the, whatever the spell is, the soul volley or something. When you're running past and you're running with it, that's very bad. I know before I was taking slumbering off for this part so that this guy would turn. So yeah, maybe I just need to not wear slumbering at all for that whole part. I'll have to test it after this run, I guess. I'll make it better. Also, Lubach, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. No, I haven't seen the Minecraft movie, although I might go see it, maybe. I don't really watch many movies at all. The last movie I watched was probably the Mario movie, I think. But I don't know. I was thinking about going to see it, I guess. Just for the meme. Apparently it's just atrocious, but... the healing on the Blessed Infusion is only based on... I didn't get the... Dude. It's only based on the upgrade level. Most normal Habs fan. All I'm saying is... if you're not calling a blatant cross-check to someone's face, and you then send the other team a 5-on-3, you should probably be... Wait, what? where do you see that? Yeah, there are some pretty bad hockey fans, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I guess that's probably all sports, though, to be fair. Like, some genuinely, like, bad people, dude.
What?
He should be shot dead. I mean, obviously, they're not being serious, but I don't know. There's some very, like, unhinged fans, dude. 15 endurance. 43.
Ashen one.
Power within. I didn't get Cornix yet, of course. Yeah, a cross check to the face should be called. That is true, I guess. Well, I mean, there was that cross check in the Golden Knights game. That was I couldn't believe it, dude. I couldn't believe they didn't call that. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it was on Hartman, who, like, to be fair, maybe deserves it. But obviously that's no reason to not call it, but... Yeah, absolutely, the inconsistency is the issue. You're 100% right. And it's really bad. Oh, massive lag spike right there. 4090, by the way. Oh my god, dude. There's something going on here. We gotta restart the game. $10K PC. I don't really know how long to wait here. Or if I even should be waiting here. When I do this run, when I actually do the 4 games in a row, I'm definitely gonna be I'm gonna just cheese both phases, so I won't even have to worry about this power within thing. But Barryon, how's it going, dude? Okay. Do I go power within phase 2 here or not? Maybe I'll just go phase 1. Well, better decide. I guess phase 2. Sunlight Straight similar to Bloodhound Fang and buffering interaction. Yeah, there aren't many twinkling weapons in this game that can be buffed, but this is one of them. Fume is also, like, Fume Ultra Greatsword is another twinkling that can be buffed. Outside of those two, though... I guess... Is Henri's a... Yeah, Dragon Tooth is another one. Is Henri's a twinkling? I think so, right? I think Henri's is another one. Like, there are a couple. Whereas Elden Ring is only the one, right?
What?
Alright, +5.
Double edge. Then. Farewell, Ashen One.
I think tree spears regular stones, yeah. Right? I actually don't know. Maybe it's not. But you can't change the Ash of War on the tree spear, though, I thought. Oops. I mean, I guess this is how long the 80% is with this weapon, right? About an hour 25 or so. You wanted to do an 80% with this route? Which you could do. There's no reason why you couldn't.
Very the Ashen One.
Yeah, I was just realizing that, Nady, that I should do the Lightning Blade on the first part and then Sacred Oath on the second part. Kavarek, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. Yeah, the only way it would change something is if we end up getting a bad phase 2, I guess, where he doesn't die. But probably most of the time with this build, he dies in not 40 seconds, I would guess. It's actually more than 40 seconds because I've lingering on, so it's closer to, I guess, 50 seconds, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the exact boost. Oh, so much health. I think you get about 30% more duration, right? So in this case, I'll probably cast Power Within and then just like wait a second. Or swap. Just, like, this is the most disgusting Osiris I've seen with this weapon. It's so busted, dude. One of the hardest no-hit bosses in the game, probably, and he gets reduced to that. I mean, not the hardest for an upgraded build like this, but especially when you're doing low damage, he's very tough. Virginia, thanks for the 15-month resub. 25 bosses in this game. Whoops. I kind of figured that I forgot. As soon as I started swinging at him, like, did I swap that on or did I not? No big deal. Yeah, he's supposed to die in one parry there, but not when you forget 20% of your damage.
Ashen one.
I wonder if it'd be better to actually get just more endurance on this segment instead. Because Nameless King's a very stamina-intensive fight, and the lightning's not really adding that much. 2-0 caps. I honestly, like, I really don't care about that series. I guess if Sens weren't in the playoffs, then I would probably want them to lose more, but... yeah, I mean, I guess it's good. I don't really care that much about that one. Gotta figure out the song command, dude. Wonder why it just doesn't work. But it sometimes does work, right? Oh, and oh, okay, no. I thought I thought the bot worked for somehow there. Yeah, Shazam is really great, dude. But ideally, the song command would just simply work. Yeah, Shazam's good. Novo More is not from Canada. I think they're from somewhere in Europe. I don't know where. Dude, the rare tail attack that I honestly just totally forgot that was even a thing. But I dodged it. Jesus, dude. No, there's no... No, I don't think it's Portugal, dude. I thought they were from the UK or something. Or he, I guess. Man, that was kind of a wild dodge. Just totally forgot that was possible. Yep. Oh, Welsh. Okay, yeah. Close enough. But no, if you're asking if they're Canadian because I listen to them so much or something, I don't really... I can't really think of any artist that I listen to because of them being Canadian. Like, I mean, I guess maybe the reason I've heard of them is because they're Canadian or something. But I can't think of any instance of that, except for maybe like Matthew Goodband, I guess. But that's basically it. Yeah, the hip and yeah, Rush, but I don't know. First of all, I don't listen to those bands too often, but I don't think it's just because I'm Canadian that I know of them, but maybe it is. It's possible, I guess. It's hard to say exactly. Vancouver Sleep Clinic. I mean, he's like Australian too, right? I don't know if it counts. Or maybe he's not. I thought he was both. Like Australian and Canadian. Maybe he's born in Canada, moved to Australia, something like that. I don't know. I don't know anything, dude. Yeah, exactly. You listen to them because they're great. I guess it's... But what I was saying is just it would be hard to exactly... Like I'm saying I don't really listen to bands because they're Canadian, but maybe the way I know certain bands is because they're Canadian. I'm also Canadian, I guess, right? Be hard to say. Okay, this time I didn't whiff it. That's good. I was wondering when we were going to get that stun. I guess we got such a quick phase 1 that we just didn't have enough hits there. We just didn't have enough hits. Ideally, we line up that poise break right with his phase 2 transition. Right at the end of it would be the best.
Ashen one.
Yeah, I practice. Well, the stomp is really not too much of a concern. Can't say I'm really scared of the stomp. Yeah, this is the not great damage boss. Yeah, yeah, yep, that's the one. Mostly the phase 2. The phase 1, it's incredible damage, but phase 2 is not as good. It's obviously still really good. It's just like the Dragon's armor, right? It's closer to average damage on those bosses, but it's still fantastic. Bert, thanks for the 8-month Prime sub. Okay, but we made it back to the split at least, which is nice. Like I said, I think this route will be... I think this route will be very consistent, and then as soon as I'm properly de-rusted on the game and I get a couple runs in, then I probably just won't ever get hit in this game anymore. So then maybe this game won't be game 1, but if it's not game 1, then I'm going to have to change how I do early game a little bit. Right? High Wall of Lothric, the way I do it on this is not consistent, so... Not 100% consistent. But I've already got the strats from the God Run 3 of what I'll do, so... No, the skip's allowed. It's just you can die during the skip, so I just am not bothering right now. It also is not a big time save at all. So it's what, 20 seconds maybe? Definitely not an essential skip.
I've seen your kind. Everything.
I guess with the controller viewer on now, you can see my kicks. As someone was asking earlier how to do kicks consistently in this game. Just simply do it. Yeah, I remembered yesterday to revert to an older version of OBS, so now the controller viewer actually works again, which is nice. I always like having it up, especially because, as people are well aware of now, I'm sure, there are times when I lose runs and it's some controller issue or whatever, or an eaten input or something like that. And so it's quite helpful in identifying what happened if I have the controller viewer up. Last attempt, I got hit on Gravetender because the way I was baiting him to the ice section was bad, and he didn't do the jump attack. He did the sprinting attack, and he trapped me in the corner, basically, and then he roll caught me. So basically, the only thing I have to do is approach from a different angle instead. The strat's maybe still a little bit of a mystery, but the way I'm doing it now, I'm just killing Gravetender before the wolf comes down. So I don't really have to worry too much about after killing the wolf. But yeah, I still don't fully understand that part, but the strat's good. I do like the strat. Etho J, thanks for the 4-month Prime sub. I just used the normal Xbox controller.
Demand repentance. Cough up your coin. All of it.
I guess
I
Xbox
started
One.
playing ER when watching you. I'm 200-ish hours in. Beat all bosses in base/DLC. Got plat. And beat Millennia and NG17. Any suggestions now, for an amateur player, to keep ER interesting?
Karsten, thanks so much for the $10, dude. Wait, you're 200 hours in, beat all bosses in base DLC, got platinum, beat Millennia, and NG to NG plus 7. Oh my, are you sure about that? Because that's an insane amount of things to do in 200 hours. Like, are you saying that was your first playthrough, or is this, like, you've already had a bunch of time in the game? I'm just curious, because that seems insane. Like, it doesn't seem possible. But, I mean, you could try doing some reset challenge runs if you wanted to, I guess, right? Or randomizers or something. Yeah, Shirley missed a 0, yeah. That's pretty insane if that's true. And yeah, what's funny too is when I got hit here last time, I just kind of like on a whim decided to line them up differently for some reason. And it directly resulted in me getting hit. So... I mean, I guess that's possible, but that would only be possible if you were using guides or something, which there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. But I guess it is possible. If your first playthrough is a pretty quick one, it's, you know, let's say it's 100 hours or something, and then you start looking up guides on all bosses and stuff. Okay, we have a weird meme, so I don't know why this happens either. You're still stuck? Oh, and now he's back in. Okay, I'll take it. Oh, and now you're back out. Oh my god, you're actually kidding me, dude. What the hell? There we go. Gonna rebuff again, though. And here I am doing the wrong buff order again. I don't know why. It's because of Elden Ring or something, dude. Just... Oh, Hornet Ring. Very important. For some reason, I'm just doing that buff order, even though it's wrong. I was nearly fucking late on that dodge, dude. Scumnut, thanks so much for the raid, dude. How's your stream, man? I appreciate that. Okay, the strat worked this time, but it's very... There's no doubt it's very finicky. Okay, we're going to try that power within mid-phase 1 strat, which surely will work fine. But yeah, I'm not going to be ultra aggressive in phase 2 though, and if we get not the right RNG. But it like even if we don't, it should still speed up the phase 2 quite a bit. Oh, that's too bad. Nice. Yeah, I think something ran out right at the end there. It's supposed to be 2 backstab kill. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play the Oblivion remaster, but I don't know about streaming it at this point. But yeah, 100% I'm gonna play it though. I'm very much looking forward to it. Hopefully it's good. It's really sounding insanely good. My hopes are pretty high for it, but maybe, I don't know. I feel like I could be let down pretty hard. You know what? I'm just realizing I actually could keep Red Tearstone Ring through this area. Is the fault? No, I guess I would need Spook. Okay, never mind.
The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin. All of it.
My GF plays and virtually guided me through the first base game playthrough. Then I just went through all DLC bosses, and then got plat while beating the rest of the base bosses. Very assisted. Lol.
Carson, thanks so much for the donation again, dude. I appreciate that. Okay, that makes sense. Because, yeah, I mean, doing all that content blind would, in that amount of time, would probably just be impossible. But yeah, that definitely makes sense. Nothing wrong with that, though. My first playthrough of DS3, I actually started finding it more enjoyable once I started looking up, like, maps of the areas and stuff. So there are some people that are, you know, sworn against playing these games not blind, but I'm not one of them. Okay, messed up a little bit here. Gonna have to wait for this to heal me up to 100 HP. Unbound, how's it going, dude? Well, basically, all I'm saying is that it is frowned upon by some people to play a Souls game while searching things up, is basically what I'm saying. Yeah, I guess I started in sort of a weird way, but... Oh, that is actually insane, dude. Oh my god, that's crazy. We got the crawl, which is really good RNG, but then he jumps around his barricade of toxic, and I can't do anything. Quite unfortunate. I may, like, want to rebuff at some point. Right now is the time to do it.
Demon in pain and demon below is what I call my morning bowel movements. Am I right, guys?
That's pretty funny, dude. Pretty good rotation there. Ooh, maybe a little too good, actually. Would have preferred to get one more attack there. Just kidding. I guess that was actually perfect. Like, that's exactly how that should go. The phase one could have been pretty good, but he decided to jump onto the other side of the poison wall. And that toxic AoE does hit you as well. It's not just toxic buildup, so. But Peter, thanks for the 10-month Prime sub, dude. Yeah, that's pretty funny, dude. All right, in-game time is 157, so I'll be curious what we finish at on this. All the other runs have been about 220, which, I don't know. I guess that's probably pretty much what we're at pace for. Maybe a little bit quicker.
Many of us are by the fire, forsaken, ice.
Guess I'll just hit this bonfire just in case. Usually I just wait until we're done the whole circle before I get that. But I don't know, in case I had a homeward bone or something. The hardest, in my opinion, the hardest out of the 4 games we're doing is, or the hardest all bosses run out of the 4 games is Dark Souls 3. In my opinion. It may not be the longest one, but it's just the bosses are the hardest in this game. That's basically it. So I'm taking a slightly longer path here. One thing I actually need to test out is the aggro range of that Judicator with Hidden Body. and how close I can get to him. Because right there, I'm not sure if I was able to just run between this structure and him or not. I feel like that would have been kind of close, though. Okay, I believe if I sprint off this, I shouldn't take damage, but I kind of want to just heal up to make sure. Surely he's dead, dude. Surely won't be seeing him again. Yeah, it's a very fast bridge, Madeira, yeah. It helps when I have, like, insane buffs going.
Ashen.
I gotta remember to send down the elevator, dude. I keep forgetting about that.
Ashen one.
Speed things up a little bit. No, that's not really Madeira phase 1, although I guess it could be seen that way. Looks stupid seeing Demon King after Gale. Yeah, it's a little silly, maybe.
Maybe best not ever.
4 years since you scammed me away from Nova.
Jerk, thanks for the 4-year resub, dude. Thanks so much, man. It's insane, dude. It's a long time. I come off the bridge, affect the actual fight. Well, you need to do it to actually fight him. Or else there will be... I'm pretty sure there's a fog gate down here if you don't do that first. Now, in the speed run, they're able to skip it, but yeah, you have to kill Bridge Madeira. Like, you absolutely do. Kind of interesting that he did another attack there. I don't know if I've ever seen him get that low before he does the phase 2 phase change. That was interesting. Yeah, the Putrescent Night Arena, basically... Yeah, I can't believe they copied Putrescent Night Arena in this game, dude. It's horrible. Shameless copy-paste in this game. They're copying Elden Ring, dude. Shameless. Yeah, we're taking damage because of Power Within. You know, it's actually funny. During the my region locked video, my region locked all boss no hit video, there were numerous instances where you see my HP dropping and you see the yellow bar from Grafted Blade, right? Because Grafted Blade gives you the extra 5 vigor. And so when you lose Grafted Blade, you lose the HP as well. And a bunch of people saw that and thought that I was getting hit by it. It's like, oh, what'd you get hit from? Like, you took damage, but I don't see you getting hit by anything. It's sort of a similar type of thing. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, I nearly scuffed it, dude. Good lord. That would have sucked, man. That is how you mess up the cheese, right there.
Ashen.
Well, I guess actually probably the main way people mess up the cheese is by just missing a dung pie, because you need each of the 10 dung pies to land. So if you miss even one, then the strat isn't good. You can only carry 10, but simply there, I just let go of alt, I guess. Oh yeah, Blooming Moss Club. Yeah, that's a good point. Good call. Dang, this is gonna add a good 4 minutes onto this run here. We just have to keep this in mind, because I am very curious what the in-game time will be. I'm gonna level up while we're here, I guess.
Ashen one.
Yeah, plus 10 gazillion hours in-game time. Just don't pull a Jerome. That's the only thing. And roll off this elevator and die or something. Let's go on Hulk. Fun in that he pissed you off. You simply have to play online. I mean, maybe online's worse for some people, but for me, the online fight's more fun. But yeah, I guess I don't know. If you get matched up with a tryhard PvPer and you're, you know, and you're just on your first playthrough of the game, that would really suck. It's really just random, right? I'm very surprised they didn't have a fight like this in Elden Ring. Or a fight, I mean, yeah, just a PvP boss like this. Because the closest they had, I guess, was Fie's Champs, but that didn't really do the trick, I don't think. Just having builds being different. I wouldn't have minded some optional PvP boss like this. I think it does 2225. Or just 50. Gideon Rot Poison Strat. Yeah, this is the exact same idea with the Gideon Strat. This was kind of the original one of these cheeses that was found, but the Gideon one is the exact same thing. Only difference, I guess, is that it's a bit more annoying in Elden Ring to get like the rot pots it's set up and all that. Whereas Dung Pies is much easier, and if you want to get storytellers, that's something you can do. But in Elden Ring, I don't think there's any way to do it other than using the rotten poison pots with like fetid pots and stuff. Yeah, I feel like maybe 215, if I didn't mess up the dung pie. Nah, I don't know, actually. 215 might be a little faster than what this route can do. Probably, if you were as efficient as possible, that's probably what it would be. Oh. I kind of messed up there. Like, am I surviving? I'm just gonna heal, dude. Ooh, yeah, because I didn't instantly swap to the shield after doing the power within, so I wasn't. I know I had 103 HP, so I probably had a little bit of leeway, but I didn't want to mess with it, dude. So that's why I healed and I just used Ritual Sword instead. I think that was the right play, because like, if you're wondering what happened or why that's important, is because the shield is what gives us the health that offsets power within, and the amount of HP extra that we have is very small, like single-digit HP extra. So because I waited to put on the shield, we probably got a couple less ticks of it, and I may have died. So I think we go down 7 steps here, if I'm not mistaken. All right, GG, dude. Simple. Easy. All right, basically 220 right on the dot, dude. Dude, this is my first all bosses no hit run in this game in probably 4 years almost. So it's been a while. I guess I already finished the cutscene, but young guy, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. There it is, dude. But yeah, ODK last people were asking. It's simply because he dies that fast. That's it. I also forgot to cast power with Sacred Oath because I don't know what I was thinking there. I guess it didn't matter anyways. That's why I wasn't really too concerned about it. But yeah, the Sunlight Straight Sword no hit route. So this is also a run request. Like I've been saying, 2 birds and 1 stone, because this may be the route we end up using for the 4-game run. If it's not, at least we got some good D-Rust. And actually, I've learned quite a bit on this route already. Or just from doing this run. But yeah, it's also a run request that someone requested, so let me just see who requested it, and so I can cross it off the list. If I could ever find... Where is that, dude?
GG,
Ah, here we go. All right, request queue. Look at how gigantic this is, dude. I know you can't see it right now, but I have a lot of requests. 159. Shogun, thanks for the $20, dude. I appreciate that. So no hit. I know there was a request for it. It might be in the no hit all remembrances, maybe. Yeah, from Dog from Saturn, from 2 years ago. Dark Souls 3 all boss plus DLC Sunlight Straight Sword. Done, dude. There it is. Yeah, the power within strats are really cool. Obviously the Sunlight Straight Sword route is really good. It's kind of unfortunate that on the successful run I messed up so many things though. Like the Gale I messed up, and we had a good Frida. There was something else I messed up, I thought. A Dog from Saturn comes around pretty often. What else did I mess up, dude? There was something. Oh, I guess I messed up a Half-Light, maybe. Adir was good. Demon Princess was okay. Good Phase 2. Griffithner was fine. Oh, I messed up Champion Gundyr, I guess, because I forgot to put Red Tear Stone. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. But the rest of it was clean. Yeah, this is a really nice route, dude. Like, probably the second best route you can do in this game for all bosses no hit, in my opinion. At least that I've seen. Obviously, Twin Blades is the absolute meta route. And I'd be very curious to try Twin Blade build with power within as well. But yeah, just, I don't know. This is probably the second best thing. Because Twin Blades have an insane Grave Tender fight. They have an insanely good Half-Light fight where you don't even need to do the cheese, although the cheese is probably still like the faster thing to do. And yeah, Twin Blades just have more damage. So I would be curious to test out a build with power within with Twin Blades. I do want to do that at some point, but probably next I'll start derusting on DS1 or 2. I'm not sure which one. But the thing is, I need to be able to do this run every time, which I already feel very good about this route, dude. I feel really good about it. That was a clean run for the most part, other than a few setup issues. And the run that I got hit on before was to Grave Tender, which was a strategy issue. So assuming all the strategy issues are ironed out, I should be very consistent at this already. I have no hit this game, all bosses. I don't even know how many times. At least 50 plus times, dude. So, but yeah, thanks again, Shogun, for the donation, dude. But I'm gonna end for tonight, you guys. Tomorrow I'll be back on. Probably. I want to finish up that no runes spent all bosses Elden Ring run, but it's gonna be a pretty long one. But I want to continue that. I have a lot of things. Kazan I want to finish up as well. I'll have to think about what I'm going to do, but yeah, have a good night, you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Let's see what we can raid, dude. Yeah, the DS2 rando. Elden Ring Fist only. Elden Ring Convergence mod playthrough I want to do. What do I even do, man? I have too many things. This isn't anything... For people who've been watching the stream for long enough, this isn't anything new, though. Me starting up 10 10 runs at the same time. But, I mean, maybe that's just how I don't get burnt out. Possibly. As I've said, I definitely don't like doing the same run over and over and over again for months on end. So, let's raid... let's raid Miss Hard Mode. She's doing the Dark Souls 2 randomizer, which a ton of people are doing. And I would like to do the Deathless run of that. And same with the DS1 as well, actually. Hello? Minecraft? Yeah. Why can't I... Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah, surely Minecraft server soon, dude. Yeah, and I'll be anxious to see this Oblivion thing. Apparently it's tomorrow, some trailer tomorrow. What time? Does anyone know what time? Because I wouldn't mind reacting to that on stream. Anyways, I'll look into it, but anyways, have a good night, you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow, and I'll see you guys then.